What is going on, Giants fans? I'm at work, but I wanted to get the video up as quickly as possible. Yesterday, of course, last night, we received information that Kyler Murray is going to be declaring for the NFL draft. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's not going to play baseball. He's due to make $6 million approximately playing baseball, guaranteed money. So for him to make that, he'd have to be at worst a mid-first round pick. So the only way, in my opinion, he's coming out is if he's a top 10 or 15 pick in this year's NFL draft. And even then, it's not a sure thing. So for the Giants to take him with the 6th overall pick, that would take a ton of guts. And it's a huge risk, in my opinion, because there's no guarantees. And that's not even talking about, like, his potential risk. I mean, the guy's only 5'9", maybe 5'8". I know he's listed at 5'10". He ain't 5'10". And I know a lot of people tell me he could be Russell Wilson, and that's fair. Russell Wilson is 5'10", but here's the difference. And I'll say this, Murray's probably even more athletic than Russell Wilson. People said he's run a 4.3 40. However, Russell Wilson is built like a tank. This guy is not built that way. He's built like a twig. The first time he gets walloped by a 300-pound lineman or a 260-pound linebacker coming at him full force, I'm going to cringe. This guy is an injury waiting to happen. I know he's got a ton of ability. The guy broke records. I think he has the highest QBR in the history of college football since they've been recording it. And the other 4 names on that list are all great players. 2 is one of them, Baker Mayfield, and the other 2 are very good pros. I can't remember off the top of my head. So I know the guy's a ton of ability, but I worry about taking a guy that high with such injury risk, and he definitely has it. But what I really wanted to talk about was the potential rumor that came out from Adam Schefter. Schefter went on ESPN today, and it's all speculation. He hasn't even heard this from Kingsbury himself, but everybody knows what Kingsbury said. I think it was like a couple of months ago when he said that he would take Murray if he had the 1st overall pick. Well, guess what? Now you do with the Arizona Cardinals. How ironic is that? He's the head coach for the Cardinals, and they now have the 1st overall pick. Of course, he is Josh Rosen, who they took with the 10th overall pick last year, and many thought was going to be a dynamite quarterback. The Giants, of course, passed on him for the chance to take Saquon Barkley, and I don't regret that at all. But now the Giants find themselves in a spot, potentially, if they decide to trade Rosen, which is a huge if. I mean, that would be a ballsy move. But Kingsbury is a ballsy coach, and he's bringing in a new system. And if he thinks Murray fits it perfectly, and he can get the 6th overall pick from the Giants or the 7th overall pick from the Jaguars and trade down, he may very well do that and take Murray with the 1st overall selection. It's been done before. We've seen coaches do crazy things. Josh McDaniels took Tebow in the 1st round when everybody said he was nuts for doing that. But that's what this video was mainly about. If you were the Giants, would you do that? Would you give up this year's 6th overall pick to acquire Josh Rosen? Now, Rosen, of course, was the 10th overall pick last year, but most people and most experts would say that Rosen is far and away better than any quarterback in this class. Now, some may debate that. A lot of people like Dwayne Haskins. I like Dwayne Haskins myself, but Rosen, it's undebatable, is more proven and has more experience. Now, a lot of people would point to that he had a poor year last year, but you also got to take into account the team he played for. The Arizona Cardinals have a horrible football team on paper. They're awful. And it's his rookie year. I wouldn't expect Haskins to do much better, to be honest, his rookie year. I like Haskins. I don't know if I would do that trade, but that is something that will be talked about in the coming weeks, if that is possible. If he would trade down to 6, if you're the Giants, would you trade up? Would you give up the 6th overall selection to acquire Josh Rosen? That's the question, and I thought it was an interesting story. Of course, I'm in my work clothes, so I apologize about that, but I wanted to get this video up as quickly as possible. And once again, guys, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up. Thank you guys for tuning in.